All right, guys, welcome into R.D.A. Outdoors and More. My name is Rebel. Um, Today I'm going to be doing a review on the GoPro Fluid Pro AI. It's a gimbal. It does the phone and it does an action camera or your GoPro. I was in the market for a gimbal. Decided to go with this one because it does the phone, it does the camera. Um, it is $229 on Amazon, so it's a little pricey. It does come with a case. It's kind of a hard case, semi-hard or however you want to call it. It is. It's got a way for the gimbal to sit in, just the way it does. Comes with the charger, USB-C to USB-C charger. It doesn't come with a power block, so you got to get something, a charging block for it, or just use one of the extra long ones you got probably laying around the house. It's got this little coiled USB-C to USB-C. I'll kind of tell you what this is for here in a little bit. And you also get, of course, your little bolt for your GoPro for you to screw it down. Um, so let's get the gimbal out. This is the gimbal here. It's it's pretty sturdy. I like the black on it. I like the grip on it. Comes with the tripod. You screw the tripod right in the bottom here. The legs are pretty thick. I mean, they're not like these little legs like you see on the other gimbals. Okay, so there's that. And then it also comes right now, what's on there is the action camera attachment, and then this is the phone attachment, which you can use. So this would be like your vertical, and then you can turn it, and then you can use your phone as the horizontal. Okay. I said the case is really nice. You can kind of see how the gimbal sits in this case certain way. It's kind of like a velvet feel inside, so it's really nice. Let me move this case out of the way for a second. Okay, now I'm gonna move this out of the way too. Now, what I want to talk about here is I watched a lot of videos on this gimbal before I bought it because I like to do a lot of research. And a lot of the other guys were kind of confusing me on things, and so I just went ahead and bought one because there was one video I saw where the guy really broke down and made me understand how to use this. Um, and what was happening is so let's go ahead and I'm going to put the GoPro attachment on now. What you do is you screw this on, just like your normal GoPro stuff, and I'm gonna go over why I got this bigger case, media case, if you under. So what happens is, so every time you use this GoPro, you have to balance it out. A lot of the videos that I was watching, the guys, they weren't balancing out this camera. They weren't balancing it. So you have to, it's got a little switch here that you gotta unlock. So you unlock the switch and now it moves freely. And then this one here, it's got a little notch that it sits in, and then you pop it out. So you can pop it in and pop it out. Now it sits freely. So GoPro, you need to balance this stuff out. Now, here you have a little silver flap here or screw. You can loosen it up. You can slide your GoPro side to side on it, however you need it to. But what you want to do is you're going to have it sitting like this, like you're going to have it sitting just like this. Now you see how the GoPro isn't balanced. So you want to take this latch that's right here. You undo this latch, and then you're going to slide this. It slides side to side. You want to slide it to where you can get it to balance. And I'll explain to you here in a minute. So now it's balanced this way, right? So now we're going to lock that in place. Now let me turn this around. Now the GoPro, you want this GoPro to balance straight up, where it's pointing straight up, the camera. And when you put the GoPro on, you need to have the GoPro lined up straight in line right here. The top of your GoPro here, got to be straight in line. You can see how mine's a little off. So then you can get it straight. Get that straight in line down there. Make sure you're tight. Now you want your camera part, you want that to be able to balance by itself straight up. Now, the reason why you want it to balance straight up If you don't have this balanced, it's going to put more pressure on your motors, and the motors are going to overheat. Okay, and a few of the videos that I saw, that's what was happening to the guys. They were saying, "Hey, we like the gimbal, but it kept overheating." Well, the whole part in the video, they weren't balancing out the camera. So you can slide this over your camera. You can adjust the camera to where it goes this way, and then you can also adjust this latch here so that you can slide your camera up and down to get it to balance this way. That way, whenever you balance it and then you turn it on, it's going to come up and it's going to be balanced. So now the motors, it's balanced itself. So now the motors aren't going to overwork itself trying to get trying to get the camera to stay leveled and stay focused, balanced. Try to get it to level out real quick. And there it goes. And now you gotta get different modes. Let me see. It's on mode PF, ETF. I do L, 1, 2. Now it's leveled out. Now the gimbal will sit just how you need it and how you want it. Now it's level, it's balanced, it's gonna stay that way. Now I'm not gonna go over all the little things that on here. It's got a wheel, cog wheel, it's got a big wheel right here. It does like 3 different things because this has a light, it has a tracker, and it also has a light that you can turn on here. Um, the tracker comes on, so you turn this light on. I think this wheel here, I think you see it turn the light on. I think it's not charged all the way right now because I just haven't had it very long. But this is a light, and the wheel will control a light, and it does some other stuff to focus too. If you can get it to Bluetooth to your phone, you can use the app on your phone when you're using the phone on the gimbal. And also the newer, not this is the GoPro 7. The newer GoPros, you can actually Bluetooth this to the gimbal so that you can actually use this to focus in and out or to zoom in and out if you want to. It also makes the brightening on the light. Okay. Now make sure you put your camera, if you're going to do a camera thing or mics or a light on this or a mic on this, you want to make sure you get it balanced out. If you don't get it balanced out, you're going to overheat the motors. It's going to shut off on you, or it's going to drain the battery faster. Now this cord here, let me turn it off so I can move this around. So this little springy cord here, you can actually, if you're not going to use this light, it comes off. You can pull it right off and it comes right off. I just leave it on there so it's on there. It's not just a loose piece rolling around the box, but you can actually plug this cord into the back of the light, and then you can plug the other end into your phone or into like the GoPro here. I can plug it into the GoPro, and the gimbal is going to charge that. So it's going to eat a little bit of your battery on your gimbal, but you'll be able to charge your phone or your GoPro, your action camera, I should say, because there's different ones out there now. Now, so this bigger case I got here, so I can use the mic adapter, the big box, plugs into the USB. Then I can put my DJI mic receiver right here on top, right here. Oh, I gotta go backwards. And put that right in there, just like that. But you can see now that it's out of balance because I added some extra weight to it. So now I got to try to balance it out again. So that's what I'm talking about. You see how much different that weight of that receiver put on. So now I have to come in here and I got to scoot this over so I can get it to balance. So now I gotta adjust the balance again. So you need to kind of plan out. You see how the receiver pulled it all the way down? But now I got to, no, I had this working last time, but yeah, the receiver makes a big difference there. And that's why turn it on. But yeah, so you got to get it balanced out. So you got to kind of predict of what you're going to use and not. Now, I really like using the DJI mics because I can get a little better audio with the stuff. And plus, I like my goal is I'm going to use my stand that my extension that has the spike on the bottom. So when I'm out doing golf content or fishing content, I'm not trying to find a spot where my tripod's not gonna do. I can just take that spike, stick it right in the ground, and this is gonna stay here. And then I can just point it where I need to, or I can turn this on and it's gonna follow me wherever I am. Now, this turns on with hand gestures. You can use hand gestures to start the recording, stop the recording, but that only works if you got a newer camera that will Bluetooth straight to this. So my goal, overall goal is I don't know if I'm gonna go with another GoPro or newer GoPro camera, or if I'm gonna switch over to the DJI action camera because the DJI action cameras you can actually um sync up two mics to that camera without using a receiver. So with the GoPro, I will need the camera, I will need the media adapter, I will need this receiver, and then the cord that will plug this receiver into this receiver for the GoPro, and then I can use the mics, or I can just get the DJI action camera and use that with um the action camera with these two mics here. And that way I'm just minimized to just that camera now. So I'm going to do a little research to see if that camera, the DJI action camera, will Bluetooth to this GoPro, which I don't think like it should bother. I think it should work the same. Now, speaking of that, let me go turn this off. I'm going to take the GoPro part off. Okay. Now we're going to go over with the camera mount. And this is what it's got little arrows right here. There's some little arrows, and then there's little arrows in this slot. So you know which way to put this in. Now, I'll do this way is the horizontal. This is the Android Samsung S24 Ultra here. You're going to slide this in. It gives you little details here to tell you. You're going to pop this on there like this. And you're going to slide it all the way up against this rubber, little rubber butt right there. You got to slide it all the way up against. Now you can see it's all out of whack now, right? You can see it's not balanced. Well, we got to get this to balance. So here we go. Now we got to undo this latch here. Undo this latch here. We got to slide this over. And we're going to slide it over as much as we can. Now it's you can see it's balanced. Now we're going to lock it into place. Now this one here. Now this is what's funny about this one here is this one here. This don't balance. So this motor is going to work a little bit extra with your phone, which yeah, I think if you balance this part right, you're going to get what you need. And now we can turn it on here. Oh, I didn't, you got to hold the button for 3 seconds to get it turned on. So now it's working and it works great, right? So it will work great with any of the larger phones. But the issue I was having is, like I said, I use my mic. So my goal is to stick something in the ground. And if I just want to use my phone for the day, not an action camera, and I still want to use the mics, well, the issue that I'm having is So the issue that I'm having is the butt of the phone is right here where I need to plug in the receiver. Okay, so where I need to plug in the receiver is right up in the butt of the phone right here. So if I put this on, it's going to slide the phone over and turn this off. So doing that, you can already see that to balance this phone, this is already all the way at its end. So to put this on there, it's going to throw the phone over more, that it's going to lean over like this. So it's not going to balance. So that means the motor is going to work harder. So, but I did find that, take this off. If I use the smaller phone, this is the iPhone 17 Pro, I can plug the adapter for the mics on, and then I can get my phone in there and I can just I can butt a microphone adapter up against that rubber spot. Now you can see I can just adjust this just a little bit, where a little bit, I gotta go over the other way just a hair. And then you can turn it on. Now you see the iPhone 17 Pros, or say the regular iPhone 17, will work with the mic adapter. So now I can use my mics and I can stick this in there. I can use You can use the app on the phone to trace you, so that it will trace you. You can stand there and walk side to side. If I move over here, the phone's gonna it's gonna follow me. The gimbal's gonna follow me where I go. If I stand up, it's gonna go up. If I go down lower, it's gonna follow me down lower. And I can have my mics on and I can be way over here doing some kind of content and you can still hear me. So bigger phones, they will work without the mic adapter, or maybe if you can get a mic that will Bluetooth to this, maybe your earbud or something. But I don't want to walk around with one earbud in my ear. So Apple iPhones, the smaller ones, will work. I'm sure maybe smaller Android phones will work with it. But S24 Ultras, I'm pretty sure the Pro Maxes, they will work with the gimbal. But once you put the mic adapter on the bottom, it's going to push it over more and it's just going to weigh it down too much. So that's the only thing I was bothered by. But with the Apple 17 Pro, it works just fine for me. It'll work how I need to, and I could shoot some content with my phone and stuff. And you can also um, flip this around, 1, 2, 3, flip it around, and now it's shooting the content straight at me now. And then you can turn on this with the hand gestures. You can do record, stop recording, and you can do follow. You can do follow me is like a okay sign, and it follows you around. Um, Now the last thing I want to talk about is, let me turn this bad boy off. Get my phone out of here. And the last thing I want to talk about is make sure you lock this into place here. Make sure you unlock this first. Lock that into place so that the gimbal, you see it gets locked into place now. And then after you use your phone, you can see how it's adjusted so much it won't get lined back up because it's hitting right there. Pop, pop. You can see, I'm trying to get a good angle here. You can see it's like hitting right there. Right there is where it's hitting. So you'll have to go in here, just this back out a little bit, and then you can rotate this around, clicks into place, and now it's kind of like in there sturdy, locked down. Now, the only other thing I want to talk about this gimbal is charging it. Um, all this stuff fits into this case. Now, this fits right. If you use your GoPro, you can leave your phone, the phone clamp on. It fits in the case. You can leave the GoPro on too as well. If you have the GoPro attachment and you got the GoPro on it, you can leave it on there and it fits right into this case. Now this is how it sits in the case. That's where that goes. Um, Usually I put the phone deal here and have the GoPro part up here. But I think if you take this off, your GoPro off, um, that fits right in there like that. So bam, you can take all your cords, stick it in here. So you can see here the way it sits into this case. Now, to charge it, it's on the bottom side. So to charge it is right here on the bottom side. So to charge this thing, you pretty much got to have it out of the case because it won't sit back in this case. It's like designed to sit that certain way with the charging part down. So now you have to have it out of the case to charge it. Now, if it was designed the other way where it would sit down the other way, you can actually you would be able to plug it in, just have it sit in the case and go boom. Or you can even get a 90-degree charger, plug it into there. You can actually put a power bank, say in here, and then you can just plug it in right there. Or you can just have it where you had it plugged in. You could have the case closed, like almost zipped all the way up like this. You see, in the cords hanging out, and you can just plug that in. It's charging. It's still protected. Say you got in the truck, it's protected, but it won't work because the charging port is on the bottom side. So maybe this will sneak over to GoPro one day and be like, hey, let's put the charging port on the other side because now you see it won't sit in the case. So now you got to leave the case open or you got to leave the GoPro exposed. But yeah, just imagine if it was, or maybe if they updated the case and they just put like a little opening here, um, kind of like this. Check this. This is for the Xbox Elite controller. You see it has a little flap in the back. You can put the charging port through, and it's got a rubber seal on it, so you can seal it right back, um, just like that. And the cord will go right in there, and it charges. So imagine if they did something like that, updated their case, and then you could just plug in the charger. That'd be great. Or if they just redesigned the case so that you can have like a 90-degree cord plugged in, then you can have it running through the case with it almost zipped all the way up, and you can have it plugged in. Your gimbal's in the case, it's protected, it's closed, nothing's spilling out. So that's something to think about too, right there. Or maybe even if you just used like a power bank that was sitting in here and you can go going off to another spot. Say you're fishing one spot, your gimbal's kind of going dead. You're like, hey, I can just plug it into my power bank, close it, it's still protected. Let's go off, drive over to the next pond or the next lake, open it up, charged up some, but no, you'll have to leave it exposed. So that's something to think about. Maybe GoPro can update that, or maybe just once I start getting more and more of this stuff here, because I think I can have it doesn't have enough room for me to put my mics in there. So I think I'm gonna end up having to get me like a electronic backpack so I can carry some of this stuff around with me. But I really did like this case. Like I was like, oh, this is a nice case, but that was the only fumble that I didn't like about the case. Maybe too, if the case was just a tad bigger, a Velcro strap here, maybe a tad bigger. That way you can fit some harder stuff or maybe even a solid camera, your GoPro in there. That would be great too. But still, it's all in all, it's a nice case. Um, there's a lot of videos out there that will go over all these buttons, but once you buy it, get the manual and just go through the manual. It's the manual is pretty thorough. The main thing is balance balance it out before you turn it on. What if you're going to use the phone horizontal, vertical, or you're going to use the GoPro or an action camera? You want to balance it out. Put everything on there that you have, and then balance it out. Read the manuals. The manuals will go over all the buttons for you. You can learn try to memorize what it all does. I'm gonna keep it in here for now until I finally get my memory down of what everything does. So far, first impressions is great. I kind of went over the stuff that I had questions about. Maybe some of y'all had the same questions. I really like it. I'm gonna try to do another video. I'm gonna go out and shoot some content. Maybe have my daughter or somebody film me while I'm walking around making some content. So you can kind of see it outdoors how it's working and how I plan on using it. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to put out some more content once a week. I used to make a lot of fishing videos. I'm gonna try to get back into that. I'm not gonna do kayak fishing videos yet anymore. I don't have any kayaks anymore. Um, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of electronic stuff, some more fishing stuff, and some golf stuff. I am gonna start a golf segment called Bag. Um, Below average golf is what it is. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna kind of tack it on to the R.D.A. Outdoors and more. I kind of want to and just do like bag segments, like hey R.D.A. Outdoors bag segment. Um, so we're gonna film some golf stuff, and so I'm trying to get prepared to get all that stuff going and filming. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know if you have any questions on here. I try to respond back to all the comments as quick as I can. So any questions, hit me up. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.